Today, I want to talk about the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, looking at every single thing you should know about this credit card, whether you already carry it or are looking to add it to your lineup in the near future. The Chase Sapphire Reserve is the most premium and luxury credit card in the Chase ecosystem, being heavily focused on enhancing your travel. And although it will come with a heavy annual fee, I do think it's justified, as we'll see, as there's so much value in this credit card, it's definitely worth looking at. With all that being said, let's now begin a review of the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The first thing that you should know about this credit card is that it has an annual fee of $550. Once again, I know that is steep. However, there's going to be over $1,300 worth of benefits and value packed inside this credit card that makes it worth carrying. And if that fee does scare you a little bit, be sure to wait till the end of the video where I'll do a side-by-side comparison to other two luxury premium travel credit cards to show you what else is offered out there that might have a little bit less of a fee involved. And before diving too far into this video, I should also mention there's a Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card as well. We are not looking at that. That's going to be a $95 mid-tier travel card. Today we're looking at the Reserve, which is the upper tier one. Going back to the credit card, at the time of filming, the sign-up bonus currently is you can earn 60,000 Chase points, or the equivalent of $600 cash back, when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of carrying this credit card. Now that's going to be a pretty standard promotion for a sign-up bonus. Chase has been known to raise that up to 75,000 points sometimes during the year, but if you're going to apply for this credit card, you can't go wrong just getting that 60,000. I'll have a sign up link in the description below, which will take you right over to the website and see what the current sign up bonus is. I now want to dive into where that value is going to come from for that $1,300 that I mentioned earlier. Now you're going to have a $300 annual travel credit with Chase that's given to you. But you're also going to have around $1,000 of partner benefits and value that you can take advantage of each year. In terms of those partner benefits, you're going to have 2 years of complimentary Lyft Pink All Access valued at $199 each year. You're also going to receive a complimentary DoorDash Dash Pass subscription valued at $120 over the course of 12 months. On top of that, you're also going to receive $5 monthly statement credits for DoorDash when carrying this card. That adds up to $60 each year. There's going to be a complimentary Priority Pass Select membership valued at $469 each year. This will grant you access to over 1,300 airport lounges worldwide. And I know that if you are an avid traveler and are going to be at airports frequently, this perk is definitely one of the best things. Being able to kick back, go into a lounge, and relax between flights. That's definitely something that's really needed. There's going to be some benefits through the edit, including complimentary breakfast. There's also going to be a $100 property credit and some complimentary room upgrades. Finally, you will be able to earn 10 times points on your Peloton purchases. So if you are someone that's lining up to buy a Peloton bike or some of their other equipment, that can add up real quick to a lot of cash back. There's also going to be a $100 credit every 4 years for either Global Entry, TSA PreCheck, or Nexus. That equates to just $25 a year. I know that's not a ton, but it is something that does help, especially for those avid travelers. As a whole, there's a ton of value packed inside this credit card just from those partner benefits and value alone. At the end of the video, like I said, I'm going to compare it to 2 other credit cards. I'm not going to go into specifics surrounding their statement credits. I'd highly encourage you all to go check that out on your own time to see what else is offered if these don't necessarily line up for what you're looking for. Now that's going to cover us on those statement credits, but we should still look at the spending categories with the card. Admittedly, they are not my favorite. However, I do think there's a great amount of value, especially for those travelers once again. Now the Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to be able to earn you 5 times points back on your flights purchased through Chase. You can also earn 10 times points back on your hotels and rental cars purchased through Chase as well. You can earn 3 times points back on your dining and 3 times points back on all other travel purchases after your first $300 is spent every single year. There's opportunities to earn 10 times points back on your dining purchase through Chase, and you'll finally earn 1 times points everywhere else you spend with the credit card. And the reason I'm not a big fan of this credit card is that it does lack in your everyday spending. That's why I recommend getting something like the Chase Freedom Unlimited or the Chase Freedom Flex to give you a little bit more for your day-to-day spending. But as a standalone card, I think the Reserve does offer a lot, but it's not necessarily the most applicable to everyday life. And what the Chase Sapphire Reserve lacks with those spending categories, it makes up for with this one benefit alone. With this credit card, every point you redeem for travel inside of the Chase portal, you're going to get an additional 50% of value on top of it. That means if I have 100,000 Chase points, the equivalent of around $1,000, I go redeem it for travel with this credit card, it will then be worth 150,000 Chase points. And that's an extra $500 immediately to be used on travel with this credit card. So if you are someone that's built up Chase points over the course of a year or years, there's a ton of value to be used with this credit card. I myself have had Chase cards for just over a year and a half, and I have around 160,000 of those points. So if I were to go get this credit card and use it just one time, I'm gonna get so much more value for it. Now, those big points are definitely the fun and flashy things to talk about, especially that 50% additional value you can get with travel, but there is still so much value packed inside this credit card with some additional card benefits and features. Heading over to the website, we're gonna see that there are no foreign transaction fees with this credit card. You're gonna have access to Reserve by Sapphire for some exclusive entertainment, sports, or culinary options when you are looking for some extra things to do. You have 24/7 concierge service specialists at your disposal. The Sapphire Reserve will also unlock some car rental benefits and features, such as some complimentary upgrades or some extra discounts on select cars. Taking a look at the travel protections, there's gonna be an auto rental damage collision waiver with this credit card. There's gonna be some trip cancellation and interruption insurance. There's a trip delay reimbursement, trip accident insurance. There's emergency evacuation and transportation, as well as roadside dispatch in case anything goes wrong. This card's actually gonna give you some medical and dental benefits. Now, there's a ton of value here. I kind of just breezed over these additional benefits. Highly encourage you going to the website to see what all is included with your credit card and see how you can take advantage of it, especially if you are gonna be traveling. You're gonna have a purchase protection, return protection, fraud monitoring, enhanced security, and zero liability protection with the credit card. There are going to be some extended warranty options, and you will also have the opportunity to pay things off slowly over time with this credit card if it is a qualifying purchase. Now, another benefit of this card is that it is from Chase, which means it's part of the Chase system. The reason this is such a benefit is Chase has one of the best systems out there, especially if you are focused for travel. The average value when it comes to your Chase points is around 2 cents per point. However, that value can be stretched to around 2.8 cents per point depending on how you redeem. This is one of the highest amongst all credit card issuers out there. There's definitely a lot of websites out there that'll tell you plus or minus on this much value, but for the sake of everything, they can all agree that Chase has one of the best systems out there for travel. Also for travel, there's going to be 14 transfer partners Chase can offer you. Of those 14 partners, 11 are going to be focused on airlines and 3 are going to be focused on your hotels. Of those 11 partners for airlines, some that really stick out to me: Emirates, JetBlue, United, Southwest, and Virgin Atlantic. And when it comes to your hotel partners, the 3 that are included are World of Hyatt, IHG Rewards, and Marriott Bonvoy. Now, some systems definitely do offer a little bit more. Capital One and Amex have a greater amount of partners they can offer you, but the ones that Chase has, they might lack in quantity, but they do make up for in quality of partners. So that's going to be the wrap up of all the big credit card points you should know when it does come to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Before moving on, if I could ask you guys to please go hit like, comment, and subscribe right now. It really helps me grow the channel so I can continue to put out more content for you all and help others with their credit card journeys. But as I mentioned earlier, I do want to compare the Chase Sapphire Reserve to 2 other credit cards on the market. The first card we are going to look at is going to be the Capital One Venture X. The second card we're going to look at is going to be the American Express Platinum card. Now, we saw earlier that our Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to carry a hefty annual fee of $550. The Capital One Venture X is going to have an annual fee of $395, and the American Express Platinum card is going to have the highest annual fee with a $695 fee. Now, we saw earlier that the Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to give us a great amount of value when it does come to your statement credits and your partner benefits. There's going to be around $1,300 worth of value you can take advantage of every single year. Capital One, on the other hand, is going to give us around $400 worth of immediate value that you can use. On top of that, if you do carry the card for more than a year, you'll get an additional 10,000 bonus miles or around $100 cash back for you to use. And our third card, the American Express Platinum, is actually going to give us the most value packed inside of it with over $1,500 worth of value that you can take advantage of. And out of these 3 cards, I won't go into too much detail on it. I think that the American Express Platinum has the best value and benefits to take advantage of. A lot of it does apply to your day-to-day spending and can be used for that as well as travel. I'd highly encourage you to go check out my video on that if you are interested in learning more about that card. Another key difference between these credit cards is where they will be able to earn you some cash back with their spending categories. We saw that the Chase Sapphire Reserve will give us those 5 times on our flights through Chase, 10 times on our hotels and rental cars through Chase, 3 times on our dining through Chase, 3 times on all of their travel, as well as that 10 times on our Chase purchased dining. The Capital One Venture X is going to give us 10 times miles on our rental cars and hotels purchased through Capital One, 5 times on our flights purchased through Capital One, and 2 times miles everywhere else you spend. And then the American Express Platinum is going to have what I think are the worst spending categories out of these 3 cards, offering you that 5 times points back on your prepaid hotels and flights through American Express. Aside from that, some other things that we can look at are the transfer partners and the ecosystems that they are part of. We saw with Chase, there's going to be 14 partners, 11 for airlines, 3 for hotels. Capital One is going to give us 18 partners, 15 airlines, 3 hotels. American Express, 21 partners, 18 airlines, 3 for hotels. There's a ton of options here. I think that these 3 are by far the best in terms of travel out of any credit card issuers out there. They're definitely worth looking into if you are going to be getting one of these cards. When it comes to the actual value of the points within each ecosystem, Chase and American Express are pretty interchangeable in terms of their value. They'll go up and down each month, but both are at the top of all credit card issuers with around 2 cents per point when it does come to redeeming for travel. Capital One is not far behind. People have it around 1.8, 1.9 cents per point, so a little bit less value, but still very, very respectable against other issuers. But what really makes the Chase Sapphire Reserve stand out amongst these other 2 cards is that 50% additional value on your travel. It's the only card out of these 3 that will give you something like that. If you're someone that has already established yourself with Chase, that can go a long way. Or if you're someone looking to start with Chase, just taking advantage of, let's say you hit their sign-up bonus and using that 50% value, it's going to start adding up real quick to see how much value you can get. Other cards don't have this. I'm not knocking them for not having it, but having that with the Chase Sapphire Reserve really makes it stand out for me. And I will have a review on both the American Express Platinum and the Capital One Venture X in the description below. If the Chase Sapphire Reserve was a little bit out of your price range, but you do like Chase, be sure to check out my video on the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I'll have that linked below. But as a whole, I do not think you could go wrong adding the Chase Sapphire Reserve to your lineup in 2024. The card does have a high annual fee. That is something that is hard to look at, especially if you are newer to credit cards, it might scare you. But with that annual fee, there's $1,300 worth of benefits and value you can take advantage of. There's a lot of perks for those spending categories, and that 50% boost on all of your points is something that really makes it stand out. And if you're interested in any other credit card tips, tricks, and reviews video, be sure to check out the channel. If you guys could also go hit like and subscribe. Once again, it really, really does help me grow the channel. I really appreciate it. Helps me put out more content to educate others as I learn myself. But I greatly appreciate you all watching this long. Let me know down below your thoughts on the Chase Sapphire Reserve and how it compares to other premium travel cards out there. I'll see you guys in the next video.